Now, it happens really often these days. Short engagements and quick marriages. Celebrities seem to do it every day. Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes got engaged after dating just 2 months, and now their baby is due any minute. Now, in my book, Love Smart, I say everybody deserves a loving relationship. But there is a right way, a smart way to find your Mr. or Mrs. Right. Now, do fast engagements and marriages work, or is it a recipe for disaster? Now, my first guest, Darcy, has been engaged 7 times, once to 2 men at the same time. Take a look.
I'm Darcy. I'm 51. I've been engaged 7 times. My first engagement was in 1975. I was 20 years old, and it was about a week when he said, "Will you marry me?" And I thought, I don't want to hurt his feelings. It took me a couple of weeks, but I was able to get out of it. A year later, I got engaged again. He told me he wanted to marry me pretty much right away. But I'm 21 years old. I want to experience life. And I thought, he wants to do the same thing to me the first guy did. Turned me into June Cleaver. And I said yes, thinking I would wiggle out of it later. My third engagement, the one that got away, he asked me to marry him after 6 weeks. I do remember saying, "Can I think about it?" He said, "Absolutely not. You are going to marry me or I'm never going to see you again." I was engaged to him for 7 years. He finally asked me point blank if we were going to get married. I said no. He left for the weekend and came back with the gal who he married, and he's been with her ever since. My fourth engagement was at the age of 38. It lasted about 3 years. I was older than him and not the same religion. His mother said, "Oh, I don't think so, no, no, no." And she wanted me chopped up, dead, buried in toxic waste dumps across the globe. Fiance number 5 happened when I was 44. I was 49 when I got engaged for the 6th time. He asked me within 10 minutes. I was actually still engaged to number 5 at the time. My sister started calling me Anna Nicole because he was 76 and he had a lot of wealth. I thought, I can't do this. We broke it off completely, I thought, but he was watching me and had people following me, and we ended up getting engaged again. He found out before the ceremony that his children took his money. You know something, Darcy? They took everything I owned. Do you have money to pay the preacher? The marriage ended because I felt betrayed, deceived. I call it my 10-minute marriage. I don't know what's wrong with me, but there has to be something, because here I am, single. I hope DrPhil will be able to say, "Darcy, this is your problem. This is how you can work it out." And I really want him to point me in the direction of Mr. Right.
Have you ever said no?
No.
So anytime somebody asks you to marry them, you just say, okay.
Men have porcelain, fragile egos, and you just can't hurt their feelings. Now, I said, let me think about it, to
Well,
number
it's interesting
3.
you say that. You were engaged to 2 of them at the same time. What about his feelings? What about number 5 when you were engaged to number 6?
Well, I didn't
If you're so interested in his feelings, then what about number 5's feelings? He asked you 10 minutes after you met him. You can't buy a car in 10 minutes.
Isn't that something? DrPhil, I don't know. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, I'm wondering why I'm here.
No, really.
No, but do you understand the inconsistency of that? You're telling me I do this because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Well, how about being engaged time after time and time again and then not marrying them? Don't you think that hurts their feelings? Because they might actually plan on getting married. You don't, but they probably do. They give you rings and stuff, which you keep.
But you know what? I have offered them back. Except the one I got on my birthday. It was a gift. It was a birthday present. Now, that's legal. If it's on your birthday, that's legal. And But, you know,
You like attention, don't you?
Actually, I'm very shy.
No, you like attention because you're real chatty, and you've been engaged 7 times, and
I've
you're
been a stewardess for 31 years.
You're
I'm
playing,
very chatty.
You're playing to the audience here and everything. You like attention.
Oh, I know some of them. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I assume you've been engaged to 3 or 4. You've been here a couple hours. I figure you've bagged a few while you were here. Because you seem really bright. I mean, seriously, you seem bright and articulate and capable, but yet you don't seem to learn in a pattern situation.
That's a pattern.
I'd say 7
No.
engagements is a pattern, yeah.
But you know,
What would you call a pattern?
something you cut out and make a dress with. No, really, I never thought I never thought of it as a pattern. I just thought it was not hurting their feelings because I did some of my best dating while I was engaged.
You did some of your best dating while you were engaged.
Yes.
With the person you were engaged with?
No.
With somebody else?
Yes.
So you'd be engaged to one, and then you'd do really good dating with somebody else?
Well, I knew I wasn't going to marry them. When it comes to relationships, I have a tendency to be like McDonald's. Fast, cheap, easy, and hot.
Okay, we're talking about quick engagements and marriages today. Now, Darcy has been engaged 7 times, and she can't understand why none of them are Mr. Right. Now, at the break, you were saying, do you really think this is a pattern? Because they were different guys, right?
Well,
Well,
yes.
let's see
Very
if there's
different.
let's see if there's a common denominator here, because in a pattern, you often have common denominators. 7 engagements, you've been in all 7 of them. Okay, so that's one common denominator, right? Okay. Second, in most of them, you had no intention of marrying them when you said yes, correct?
Correct, except number 4.
So 6 out of 7, you said yes, sure, I'll marry you, right?
And number 4, I just kind of chased after. I really wanted to marry him.
So another common denominator, you didn't intend to marry him when you said so.
That's true.
Okay. Third common denominator, while you were engaged to them, you were already plowing the next field. Because you said, I do some of my best dating when I'm engaged.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is repeated. So you're always there, you say yes when you mean no, and you're already cultivating the next relationship while you're in this one. That seems to me to be a pattern. Now.
Yeah.
Wow. Gee, when you put it that way.
It works.
Yeah, most guys like to have bad news early. So like if I want to marry you and you're not going to marry me, I would rather you tell me on day 1 than on day 700. I don't want to be engaged to you. I don't want to spend 2 years engaged to you when I could be pursuing somebody who really does want to get married.
Even the very early stages of the engagements, I would drop hints. You know, do you want to go look at wedding dresses? No, I don't want to because I'm not ready. I don't want to do this. There's not time. I can't handle it. And then start little fights, hoping that they would break up. And eventually they did.
Look, here's the bottom line. You spent all of these years being engaged to 7 guys that you had no intention of marrying. What if you had said, no, my happiness is at least as important as theirs, so I'm not going to waste time in these dead-end relationships. Maybe that would have led you to finding somebody that you really did care about.
I did not know how to do that
Okay.
at the time. I
All right.
really didn't.
Okay, try this. I just want you to say this. Let me see if you can say this. I'm really flattered that you asked, but I'm just not in the same place right now. Can you say that?
I'm really flattered that you asked, but I'm not in the same place right now.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to say no.
So I'm going to have to say no.
Okay? Now,
Will it hurt their feelings?
what?
Will it hurt their feelings?
Will it hurt their feelings? Oh, I'm sure if they really care about you, I'm sure they'll be disappointed for a while.
How can
But you know,
they care
but
when
you know
they don't
what?
know me?
I hate to tell you this, but I honest to God really do think they'd get over you.
Oh, yes.
You know, really.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're probably this wonderful, charismatic, warm, loving person
no.
and all, but I really do think,
Self-absorbed,
but no,
no.
I really do think they'd get over you.
I do too.
Well, today we're talking about fast engagements and getting married soon after meeting. Now, Lance and Stacia got engaged 3 months after they met online and married 17 hours after they got engaged. Now, it's 3 years later, their marriage is totally on the rocks. Take a look.
I married Stacia only 3 months after we met.
Lance and I met online.
I was in the Navy and she was going to college.
He took me to the beach. He got down on one knee and he said, "Stacia, will you marry me?"
In 17 hours, we were married.
We got married in a courthouse the next day during his lunch hour.
I don't regret marrying her. I just regret marrying her too soon.
Our marriage is definitely in trouble.
You said you didn't remember. So now you're admitting you did remember and that there's
No,
something
it's because whatever I say, you're
No,
going
I'm
to try
trying
and
to find out
reverse
the
it.
truth.
I'm about ready to just lose my cool. Stacia and I have been married 3 years. We have a daughter that's 2 and a son that's 8 months old.
From the get-go, it's been tough. We had a lot going against us, and we'd been fighting an uphill battle the whole way.
I wanted to go to visit the family and you're like, no, you gotta wait.
Because I had to work. I wanted to go as a family.
Our marriage just started struggling because we're actually finding the true person that we married, not the person who I thought it was online. Stacia online would tell me all these exciting things that she's done, and when I was asking her about it, she's like, no, it wasn't me. I was using someone else's stories. And I was like, well, who did I marry?
We had just been married a short time, and I was pregnant with our daughter when I found out he had been having an affair. I was torn apart. He promised never to do it again, but 2 weeks after our daughter was born, he said, "I have a confession. I have actually had 5 affairs."
For 6 months, I had 4 affairs. Then I had 1 more within a year of our marriage. The thought of never having sex with another woman terrified me.
He knew that he had no reason to walk out on me, so he cheated on me so I would walk out on him. Our biggest fights are always about trust.
I haven't checked up on you in so long. Don't roll your eyes, I'm serious.
As I look back on this, I would do this completely differently. I would have spent more time with Stacia.
I would have dated him and spent more time getting to know the different sides of him.
I hope DrPhil can help Stacia and I build upon our marriage, lay down that solid foundation that we've been seeking and needing, that I've torn apart.
All right, have you ever heard the term bait and switch?
Yes.
What's that mean to you?
That you show them one thing and then when they choose it, then you switch it with something else?
Yeah, that's a form of fraud, right?
Right.
Bait and switch. It's like you show somebody like one car and then you sell them a very different car and they don't get what they think they're getting. Did you show him one person, one persona, when in fact it was something very different? You either did or you didn't.
My boyfriend had the motorcycle. I did go riding. I just didn't ride it myself.
Did you mislead him?
Yes, I did.
You did. Why?
It started out as a joke with my friends. We never thought I would ever actually meet someone in person. So we were creating this exciting, fun life for me, a person that really didn't exist online, thinking I would never meet him in person.
So you were just playing a game?
Yes.
Okay. But you thought it was for real?
I did. It just sounded exciting. I was in the Navy and stationed in Mississippi, and I was just going through some hard times, and talking with her, there was someone I could go to and tell all my problems to, and I tell her the things that I like, and she's like, oh, I like to do that, and would just kind of relate with me.
Yeah. So when you started discovering that that wasn't really true, that you didn't have those common interests and all, did it occur to you to deal with it forthrightly at the time?
I didn't find out all this stuff until after we were married, and
Yeah.
I felt, well, let's go on and just...
Well, you only engaged 17 hours, so
Correct.
there'd been a lot of stuff to cover.
Correct.
I don't think even I could interview that out of y'all in all of this in 17 hours. So, I mean, that wasn't the smartest move, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, and at what point did you decide, I commit, I'm married, I'm here, everything's set. What I need to do here is have me a bunch of affairs.
There's no excuse for that. My mindset was there's a lot of things that was going on with our marriage, things that I didn't know, and I was just the lifestyle I lived before I got married and before, where I met Stacia, and I just, at the time, I wasn't ready for the commitment, and but there's still no excuse for it.
Well, you're right. There is no excuse for it. And my question is, given the way you two entered this, what do you predict is going to happen? Well, Lance and Stacia married just 3 months after meeting online, 2 months after their first physical date. Lance had 5 affairs in the first year of their marriage, 4 of them in the first 6 months. They both feel they got married way too soon and really didn't, and I would suspect don't, know each other at this point. First hard question for you, Lance. If you knew then what you know now, would you have married her?
Probably not.
If you knew then what you know now, would you have married him?
No.
No. Okay, so both of you are sitting here now saying, wow, this seemed like a good idea at the time, but given what we've learned, not a good idea. And, what's the problem here? The problem is you have 2 children. And my next question, I guess, is just pragmatic. You knew you had trouble from the very beginning, didn't you?
Correct.
What the hell are you doing getting pregnant? Why? You knew, you got home, you got each other unwrapped and went, whoa, this isn't the personality, this isn't the value, this isn't everything that I thought it was going to be. Let's just involve a baby.
At the time that I got pregnant, we weren't trying to get pregnant, but we weren't not trying, and I realized that. We weren't doing anything about it. And I didn't realize there was a problem at the time. I didn't feel there was a problem at the time.
So you thought everything was fine.
I did.
You knew better. You had 4 affairs
Yes.
the first 6 months. That's a clue.
When the affairs didn't happen until she got pregnant like 3 weeks after, 8 weeks after we got married, and there's no affairs during that time frame.
So you made 8 weeks.
Correct.
And you were having sex with no protection, no birth control, just nothing.
Correct.
And you know what? I would tell you two that you just need to hit rewind. You need to get a divorce. You need to go your separate ways. But the problem is we've got 2 children here. We got a 2-year-old and an 8-month-old. So instead of telling you that you just need to hit the eject button and get out of this as an ill-conceived union, what I'm going to tell you is sometimes you make the right decision. Sometimes you got to make the decision right. Sometimes you got to make the decision right. I am not one of those people that believes that you stay together for the children, but I am one of those people that believes you owe it to them to make a diligent effort to maintain the integrity of their family unit. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But you got to both step up and say, you know what? We got to not be selfish here. We have these two children. We're going to do one of two things. We're either going to really work and make this relationship come together, or we're going to at least form a relationship so we can be cooperative allies as divorced parents, so these children always have their mother and father in their lives without conflict and without tension. Now, where that's going to wind up, I really don't know. I just don't think you two had any foundation for this relationship whatsoever, and I think what you need to do is try to create that, and if you don't get there, you will at least get to the point of being co-allies of these children. Are you willing to do that work?
Most definitely.
Because I will help you do that. I will get you some help, some professional help in your town, in your community, to sit down with you and help you walk through this. And then you can make a decision about what you need to do. Will you do that?
Most definitely.
Will you do that? Okay. We're talking about getting engaged too soon. Eric and Katie got married just 2 weeks after their first date. Now, Katie's younger sister was upset that Katie beat her to the altar.
My husband, Eric, and I met online around mid-January of this year.
We started talking on the phone for about a week before we had our first date. I'll show you around sometime. The first time I saw Katie, I knew she was the one I was gonna marry.
After my first date with Eric, I went back to my roommate and I told her that I had just met the man I was going to spend the rest of my life with. On a road trip to Colorado, we just decided we wanted to marry each other.
We figured, why wait? We're in love with each other, we should get married.
We got married at the courthouse 2 weeks after our first date. Eric and I got married. When Eric and I first told our families that we had gotten married, everybody was in shock.
Katie called me the same night and told me that she had gotten married. I thought maybe she was joking with me. We barely even knew that she had a boyfriend, let alone was going to get married.
Our biggest concern was her safety. We didn't know much about this guy. Was he some kind of a weirdo? You know, would he be an abuser?
What would possess you to just marry somebody that you've only known for such a short time?
I expected my sisters to be more supportive of me and for it to not cause as big of a rift as it has.
When I first found out that Katie got married, I was pretty furious. I do not believe in love at first sight. I believe in lust at first sight.
Brooke's getting married in November, and things got a little hairy when Eric and Katie decided to plan a whole reception.
I think Brooke's most upset with the fact that I'm taking away from the spotlight of her wedding.
I wondered why she eloped if she wanted to have the white dress ceremony and reception. I didn't want to be jealous. I didn't want to be that girl. But it hurt my feelings that she was trying to steal my sunshine.
We decided to wait because of all the opposition from our family. This conflict has really hurt my feelings and made me not want to spend time with my family.
I try to avoid Katie, and I don't talk to her as much as I should.
I don't think that Eric and I got married too soon. I think it was perfect timing for us. Eric and I are currently living in 2 different apartments. We both have roommates, so we haven't moved in together yet.
But we are looking for a house to buy.
Well, this is the house that I grew up in, and it's definitely within our price range.
I think there are so many people that go through their entire life not finding true love, and I believe Eric and I have it.
You don't learn all of a person's quirks in a couple of weeks.
It was really hard to meet Eric for the first time and call him my brother-in-law when I knew nothing about him. I think overall it's just frustration and anger, just why she did it and why she didn't involve the family.
We would love for our family and friends to realize how much Eric and I are in love and how happy we just want to make each other.
So I understand that you fell in love, but why get married so quick?
We were in Colorado and the mountains were so beautiful, and we both just decided that that's what we wanted to do.
She got married in Wisconsin.
Right.
This is so beautiful. This is just breathtaking. Let's go to Wisconsin. Why did you not get married there?
We made the commitment to ourselves out in Colorado, but we did the legal commitment in Wisconsin.
So you kind of got married in your minds and hearts in Colorado.
Correct.
And then you went and papered it in Wisconsin.
That's right.
Right.
Okay, but why? What was the urgency? Because my dad used to tell me, no matter what I was talking about, he said, you know something, boy? If it's a good idea today, it'll be a good idea tomorrow. And if it's not a good idea, it won't be a good idea tomorrow.
That's true, but you never know what you're going to miss on because you never know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Oh, that's exactly right. You have no idea what tomorrow's going to bring. And y'all know I've had a rule. I've always said you should never get married to anybody unless you've seen them with the flu. Because, unless you've kind of mopped up and cleaned up and seen them with 103 temperature, you don't really know them. Because that's when they morph into an alien. And you kind of want to see that before you do it. But you guys were saying we don't believe that it's prudent to go out and meet somebody and marry them like 3 weeks later, 2 weeks after you've met them in person for the first time. And you're saying, how do we support our sister without endorsing that decision, right?
Exactly.
Here's the truth, whether y'all think so or not, marriage is tough. I don't want to get you upset about this because you've been planning this for a long time, but really we have almost a 50% divorce rate in America, which means you got like a 1 in 2 shot when you get married statistically. And how you can make sure that you're on the good side of that statistic is you do your homework. You deal with all the things that can be potential conflicts once you get into a relationship. Because if you deal with those things before and you hit a deal that this is just a deal breaker, just won't work, then you can know that ahead of time, and so you can say, whoa, stop. Until we get some resolution to this, we are not moving forward. And until you've drilled down on all of those things in advance, then you have no idea of what impact it's going to have once you get married. And you guys have not done that. You just said, this feels good now, so let's do it. Does that mean your marriage is doomed? Absolutely not. But you know what it does mean? It means you need to do a whole lot of the relationship building, a whole lot of the premarital thinking and planning and resolution right now. You need to do it right now. You can grow into this relationship and it can be fine. I mean, it really can. And you guys can really, you don't have to love the decision, but you love your daughter, right, Dad?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, and there's no question about that. And when we did check him out, by the way, I have a lot of FBI guys I work with and ex-FBI guys, and we scrubbed him top, side, and bottom, and you'd be pleased to know he's just clean as a whistle. He is. We're talking about quick engagements and marriages. Now, Sandra has been engaged 6 times, she's been married 4 times, and she's barely 30 years old. Take a look at her story.
I have been engaged 6 times. 4 of those were marriages, and each one has ended in divorce. I regret each and every one of my marriages. The first time I became engaged, I had been dating my boyfriend for 3 months. I was 14 and he was 19. 3 months later, I found out I was pregnant. I definitely know that I pressured him. He wanted to back out. I would not let him. I wanted to be married because I wanted that family. I was caught up in the moment. It was like a fairy tale ending. Finally, there was someone who wanted to be with me. I had low self-esteem and he was the only man that had ever paid any attention to me. I felt if I said no, that I would never get another chance. I hate getting on the scale. Over the last 12 years, I've gained 130 pounds.
Oh, hell.
With my first marriage, I gained 50 pounds. I was very unhappy, and when I'm unhappy, I eat.
I check out the personal ads every other day just to see who's out there and if there's someone new.
I have two fears. The fear that I will repeat the cycle of getting married early and divorcing, or that I will end up alone for the rest of my life. I think my relationships have negatively affected my son. He's seen so many people come in and out of our lives. After having my son so young, I just wanted to make sure that I could give him the father that I didn't have. I would say yes in the past to someone, even though I knew the relationship would fail. There is a possibility that I will never meet Mr. Right and that I've lost my chance.
Yeah, this one.
I would really like Dr. Phil to explain why I say yes, even when I want to say no.
Well, why do you heard me talking to Darcy, right?
Yes.
Okay, anything pop out?
Yeah.
From that, what?
You know, there is you see them get down on the knee and that they're giving so much emotion, and you don't want to say no. You don't want to break their hearts right there in that moment. But I know that it's wrong, that I shouldn't even have considered.
But don't you see it coming?
Yes.
So you don't have to wait until they're on their knee and then go, no. No. Are you joking? You kidding me? You don't have to do that, but you see it coming. You know it's headed that way, right?
Right.
So why don't you stop it before they get in that position?
Because I'm afraid that I'll be alone.
That's the whole point, isn't it? You're saying, I don't really want to marry him, but I'd rather marry him than be alone.
Right.
Okay. That doesn't work. Right? If you marry somebody not because you want them, but because you don't want to be alone, then you've got a real problem, right? That's what I was talking with Lance and Stacia about. Did you listen to that?
Yes.
Where I said you don't want to marry somebody because you're moving away from something instead of toward them. If you marry somebody, it's because I want to be with that specific person. Not that I want to be married. I mean, it's not that you're looking for a vertical biped with a pulse. That's not, it's just like, this is better than nothing. He walks upright. He's got a pulse, and I'm lonely, so yes. I talk about in Love Smart that you can love dumb or you can love smart. And if you're loving dumb, you have no standards. You're just kind of anybody's dog that'll hunt with you. Just like, sure. If you'll take me out in the field, I'll go.
Right.
No standards whatsoever. And you're so afraid to be alone that you do what I call panic marry. It's like, this isn't what I really want, but it may be my last chance. I better grab on.
Yes.
Isn't that the dialogue you have?
That's pretty much exactly how it is.
Yeah. Now, how do I know that?
Because I have a pattern. And I've done it over and over again.
Yeah. What you want to do is you want to approach any relationship from a position of strength, not from a position of weakness. You don't want to go in there saying, I'm desperate. I have to close this deal. I'm desperate. If they'll ask, I'll answer. What you have to do is get right with you first. And let me promise you, rotating men in and out of your life is not good for your child.
Right.
Because they learn, I cannot depend on men. They come, they go, and you haven't always chosen the best examples, the best role models.
Right.
So, it's not just who is there, but it's the fact that you're rotating through. And what I want you to do is I want you to decide, you know what? If I'm going to be alone, I'm not a bad person to do it with, but I don't want to be alone. I don't have to be married, but I want to be married. And there's some serious and important work that you have to do with yourself first. And if I walk you through some of that, if I give you some things to do, serious work things to do, will you do them?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll walk you through that. And when you get through with that, if you say, look, I need some professional help with this as well, I'm happy to arrange that for you. But I want you to do some things first. And the reason I'm not saying that I want to get you some professional help right now is because I want you to rely on you for a change. I want to give you some things to do for you. And after you do some of that, then if you want to do that, then I'll be more than happy to help you with that. Okay? But this is all about you getting along with you first. And I want to walk you through some of that, okay?
Okay.
All right.